So we're back out here. We got some new hoses put back on, intakes put back on, stuff like that. We're gonna try and space this hood. About 100 pack of washers. We're just gonna loosen these up. Then we're gonna stick them on the back side. If you stick them on the front side, you'll just push your nut out farther. So don't do that. I'm gonna start on that side. I have the top one disconnected so that I could use it as a reference for washer size when I went to Home Depot. I gotta disconnect the bottom. I think I'm gonna do it one side at a time. I'll space that side while leaving this connected. I did go ahead and mark it out where the hinges are so I don't lose where they're at. You know, I have still have proper alignment. So yeah, let's go ahead and space the hood. We'll see what we like and then get back to it. Okay, so we're all finished up. Obviously you can see the hood's down. Let me go ahead and pop that real quick. Just show you guys that it opens still. Works as it should. We put 5 spacers on each bolt hole. There's 4 of them that hold your hood down. They were 1/4-inch washers if you would like to know. This is what you look like on your headlights. There's your fender alignment. Still lines up. Headlights. And this is your gap at the back. Now there ain't much of a gap even across the whole hood. It's mainly at the back. It's like this on both sides. On the other side, this corner is dented, so it does dip down a little bit more. You can kind of, right there, you can see is dented. So you get down there, you see your hood alignment. Real quick, if you want to do this little hood spacer deal, they might make a spacer for these online. I'll have to check that out, but this was just a today's fix. Don't plan on making a plate. It won't sit flat because that right there, you can take this shape traced out on some cardboard or something and take it to a machine shop, have your own made or something. Like I said, I gotta check online. If they make them, obviously you wouldn't need to go to a machine shop, but this is just what I went with, and it's 5, 10, 15, 20 washers. If you do want the airflow aspect, you're gonna need to remove this little rubber bit, and I haven't done any driving with it. You know, I could get the hose out as well. I don't know what the water sealing is like for under the hood, so I guess do it at your own risk until I find out. I think I'll maybe upload a short later on and just kind of give you guys an update of how it's going. Personally, I don't think it's going to matter because that's a little water tunnel right there. But obviously the seal was put there from factory for a reason. Whether that was for sound or, you know, it was probably for water. You know, we'll just have to figure out, but I think that this little channel here should be able to keep the water out enough to not come into my engine bay. And you're, like I said, you're gonna need to delete that if you want any gap. These are studs that come from your hood, and I don't believe that you can extend those. I didn't pop the hood off fully. I only unbolted it, dropped this side, put the other pieces on, and then bolted it back up, one side at a time, leaving that side connected. I did this side first, reconnected this side, and then disconnected, reconnected. Yeah, I honestly don't mind the fitment issue. When I had looked it up online, other people's hoods were, you know, 1/2 inch, an inch, you know, gapped at the back, and I didn't like that look so much. I think that this gap allows air to come through and exit, but not look totally horrible. So let me go ahead and drop the hood. I'll show you the rear gap again, and then I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. One other thing while I'm closing the hood here is it's a little sticky. I use lithium white grease or something. PB Blaster also helps to break up the rust. I just closed the hood and it didn't close all the way. It's not due to a fitment issue. It's because this stock system gets all rusty and sticky and shit. And drop the hood. Look at that, she's closed. Fitment is not an issue. But again, like I said, PB Blaster or some white lithium grease to help make that a smooth process. The previous owner, you can't really see him very well. There you go, you can kind of see him now. The hood is fiberglass. It's not metal, which means it's going to flex more when you close it or have to slam it. So go ahead and just before you crack your hood paint, go ahead and grease that up so that it operates smoother. You don't have to slam your hood. You don't have to do it 3 or 4 times, etc., etc. Save yourself. Let's go ahead and zoom out. This is what your car is going to look like. Like I said, you ain't got much of a gap at the back. It looks really good, in my opinion. It looks really good. It follows that body line. It doesn't dip down too much. It obviously is going to stop on the fender. Go ahead, flip sides for you. It does dip down just slightly. But I think that that's worth it. I mean, for most of the fender, you follow that body line, and at the back, it's only a slight gap. Now, without a light, you're not going to be able to see through here, but pretty much you have an air gap, and that's basically just going to allow the air to exit. It's not a big exit, but obviously, you know, as you're driving, the air is going to come through, go through your radiator, all your cooling fans and all that shit, and then it's just going to go to the back. You don't really need that big of a gap at the back to do what you need to. I mean, I honestly think under the hood temps are going to drop a good amount, even with that little gap that I have back there. So, like I said, 5 1/4-inch washers on each bolt. That's the kind of gap you're going to get. If you can extend the studs, go ahead and let me know in the comments. If they make spacer kits, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'll check that out later. But honestly, stopping at the hardware store, I paid $7 for 100 pack of washers. If you want to buy the 6-pack, you're gonna spend like similar amount. So just fucking do whatever you're doing. And yeah, I mean, I don't have any overheating problems, none of that. So really, under the hood temperatures don't really mean anything, and if you were having overheating problems, you should probably just solve that, not put some washers under your deal, create a cooler environment. But if you just want to create a cooler environment, you know, I've already got the cold air intake. The previous owner did a grill delete. I don't know how much that actually helps out. The honeycomb isn't actually filled in, so I don't feel like it'd be that much resistance. I don't know if he did it for the looks and he just didn't buy the Mustang to kind of give it that GT look. But yeah, I mean, if you just want a cooler engine bay, now I don't even know how much that helps. Let me look into that. I'll probably drop a comment, leaving some updates. I'll look into it. I don't know that it actually does anything. It might just look stupid, because if it's not doing anything, it does just look stupid. But in my opinion, the slight gap that we have at the back here, our hood's not dipping down a bunch. It lines up for most of the panel, and this gap isn't fucking humongous. So for a cheap little, you know, you love your cold air intake, give yourself a cold air engine bay. That's all I got to say. Anyhow, that's gonna wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.